Perfect.
Forget.
Hello.
Hey, how are you? Can you hear me?
I can totally hear you. Do you want me to try turning this the other way?
I don't think so.
Okay. I want your opinion on, first of all, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am wonderful. Let me just turn this on Do Not Disturb. I wanted to ask you, because I'm not in my kitchen, it's kind of like, I want your thoughts on how we should record this. Because I can prep here.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna like leave to put things in the oven and stuff. Or we could also put it like over here. Over here. And try to get it this way.
I like that better.
This better?
Yeah.
Okay. The only thing is you can't see a ton of what I'm doing, but at least this way when I'm walking, I'm still in frame, I guess.
Yeah, I can see what's in front of you.
Okay, good.
I can see what's in front of you.
Oh, good. Okay, well then that works out. This is really cute because I have to take a little picture of this setup for us. Because it's cute. Hang on.
I know, I probably should have used my phone rather than, let me turn these lights out.
Hang on, let me move this over here.
Those lights. Ooh, this kitchen is.
It's like, you know, if there's anything COVID taught us, it's to be really resourceful with how we use our space.
Resourceful,
on video.
flexible.
Resourceful, flexible, all those things. These are empty bowls, so we don't really need those, but this looks real cute and I want to get a picture of it. I do not need my bottle washing brush in that photo. It's not going to add anything.
I feel like I have a mess happening here, but that's okay.
It's supposed to be.
I have like paper towels, like what?
So, you know, we're in this Airbnb and I actually have a paper towel under the cutting board because the cutting board is wobbly, which, as you can imagine, cutting squash, that's a joy.
Yeah.
But it works. We're making it work. Okay, cool. I feel like I got that. I feel like we're good.
I'm gonna move this whole apparatus closer.
The setup looks fantastic though.
I just have a lot of white fridge behind me. Oh, now my head's off.
Okay, let me get over here.
Wonder if I go more this way. This is not my kitchen, so.
I feel like a little less of the sink. I liked how it was before.
Yeah, like that, like this.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
Yeah.
Wait, so where are you?
We are on vacation.
Right.
We're in the Florida Keys.
Nice.
In Marathon.
How warm is it?
It's hot. It's hot here.
Yeah, it's hot.
I mean, it's not sweltering, but it's warm. It's in the 80s.
Yeah.
It's in the 80s, and the pool temperature is 90. So it's like it's like you can get in, not like, but when you're wet and you're like on a raft, because I was floating all morning in the pool, and the breeze just cools you off like just enough. It feels
glorious.
So good.
Yeah. It's I mean, I can't complain because it's very warm here, but like our pool, if we were at home right now, our pool would be like a cold plunge. It's probably around like, I don't know, I'd say probably about 55 right now. Yeah. And I am an 89. I keep our pool at 89 when we are using it.
Yeah. Yeah. So how's the house coming along? I'm like so excited to see it.
It's coming. Yeah. I mean, it's look, we've never done this before. And so we went into this thinking, oh, this is going to be a 9-week project and we'll go away for the summer and we'll come back and we'll move back into our house. And then when we were gone for the summer, I was like, you know, I'm just going to rent an Airbnb as a backup plan for 2 months, just in case. because, you know, the scope of the work was kind of changing as we were doing it.
Right.
And then next thing you know, we are 2 months in a Silver Lake Airbnb. So a month in Europe, a month in Montreal, come back here to 2 months in an Airbnb. And then I'm like, we need 2 more months in another Airbnb. So we rent another Airbnb. And then we were hoping to move in for December 1st. Now it's looking like the second week of December, right before Christmas, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh.
But you know, the thing is, when you're this far in on a renovation, we're in the final stretch. And so now it's just all the details that you forget that you have to do when you're thinking structural and you're thinking big picture. Now I'm like, oh my gosh, we need to buy toilets. We need to buy, you know, our hardware. We need to, like, I literally bought door handles for every single door last night when I was falling asleep, because it's the stuff that you forget about, you know?
Yeah.
But it's going really well. It's going really, really well. And we're just excited to move back in.
Yeah. I love it. That's exciting. All right.
Yeah.
So I'll do like a quick little intro, and then obviously when I outro us at the end, don't leave me. We'll continue.
Perfect.
Don't hang up on me.
Peace out.
Please don't. I always forget to say that. And sometimes when I'm interviewing people, I'm like, okay, thanks for joining us. And then the Zoom just shuts off. And I'm like, man, I really wanted to say like bye, like a normal person, not like different.
I can turn more light on in a second here. Does this work?
I'm gonna warm my light. I don't know if my light is.
I feel like there's a shadow on me that I'm trying to figure out how to navigate. Hang on. Where's my power? Oh, I don't know if that helps. I might just underlight. Because there's like a shadow on that spot.
Do you want to turn your camera back? Do you want to?
Let me try it back over here and see. One moment. Okay, you tell me based on, so I'm either here or we are over here. Whoop, buddies, whoop, buddies. Or here.
I mean, that's better light.
Maybe we do this. And I just try to walk.
I can see more of your cutting board this way. So,
okay. So let's do this then. And also I'm right-handed, so I'll be doing things facing this way.
Perfect.
Done.
We can always edit too. Like we can fade out and fade back, and like it's no deal.
Love it.
Is your squash in the oven?
I put a little batch in the air fryer.
Okay.
But then I cut one because I was gonna try cutting one, but it's not glamorous. Should I just pre-cut it, the other one?
It's completely up to you. Mine are all pre-cut rainbows on my board.
Those are gorgeous.
Is that okay?
Looks amazing.
I thought I was gonna cut my hand off.
So you know what? Let me just do one more really quickly.
Are you sure? Okay.
We can do it while we're filming. It'll be fine. We can always cut it out. If I look like I'm hacking, you could just tell me and we'll cut it out.
No, it's fine. Okay. So this is a little bit of a special edition of Hearts of Stars, right? Because we're doing like the kitchen, a little food segment.
Yep.
What do you call it? It's so funny because when you sent me the recipe, I had to look up the first word.
Delicata?
Yes.
Because it's the type of squash.
Yes. So I didn't know that. So I had to look it up. And yes. So I was like, ooh, I don't know if we have those here. Which is why I took that picture of the squash section in the grocery store to send you yesterday. But there were a lot of, and it's so funny because when I'm in the grocery store and I walk past that section, I always say, what do people do with this stuff? Like what, I mean, it looks decorative. Like, I don't know, like, you know what I mean?
I know. You have it on your centerpiece for like the holidays. You're like, oh, pretty.
Right. So, and they're so hard. And I even said to you, I'm like, how do I cut this thing? Like, I don't want to chop my hand off. So I pre-cut it. Actually, it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. You just have to have a really sharp knife. Exactly. I Googled it. I'm like, how do you cut a buttercup squash? Because I don't know. So this is what we're making. I'm very excited to make it because it smells really good. Just when the squash itself and the inside has a really great smell to it.
Yeah, it's like nutty, has like a nice nutty smell.
Yes. So where do you want to start? I know you have another squash that you want to chop up. So do you want to?
And I've washed this stuff, but I haven't prepped it. So I figured we would just put the squash in the oven.
Okay.
Like I'll finish prepping the squash, we'll put it in the oven, and then I'll prep this stuff while we talk.
Okay, that works. That works. So I'm putting olive oil on all these slices, just on one side, the side that's up. Yes.
What I do is I put them in a bowl and I smush it all around.
Gotcha.
But it doesn't really matter, to be honest. And yes, you can just put it on the side up. As long as it gets like that caramelized golden brown.
Right. Okay. Got it. I feel like my slices are a little thick, but we'll just.
They'll just need extra time to bake.
Yeah. So I'm going to get mine in now.
Okay, so I think what I'll do, are we starting, or do you want to? Okay.
It's gonna be very casual.
I love it. Well, let me just pull up the recipe because I have a confession to make, which is I am the worst person at following recipes. I tried this service where you get a box delivered to your house where you make the meals, and it's like all the ingredients are prepped for you, but then you just have to put them in based on the recipe.
Right.
And it makes me, it stresses me out to do that because I'm just so used to winging it in the kitchen. So I have to actually look at a recipe because this is not my forte.
Gotcha.
But let me walk you through what we're doing. I mean, first of all, this time of year, I use the opportunity to cook with squash. I don't use it as a decoration, although I do use it as a decoration, like behind me in the fruit stand and stuff like that.
Right.
But I love to eat it because we only get it this time of year, and because it's so good for you. It's like a healthy starch. It's said to be really good for a ton of things. It's high in vitamins and minerals, but also it's supposed to be really good for mood. So I'm all about mood boosting as well. So I feel like having squash is great for that.
Yeah.
So I'm using delicata squash. You're using kaboka squash. Both of the squash that we're using, you can eat the skin. When you bake them, the skin gets really, really tender and you can eat it. But this recipe, if you don't have access to either of these squash and you only have like a butternut squash or an acorn squash or whatever that is, you can make this with any squash because the dressing, the vinaigrette is so versatile. So any squash that you're using, you could make it work.
Okay.
So basically what we're gonna do, and actually, you know what I think I'm gonna do first is toast my pumpkin seeds.
Okay.
Have you done yours by any chance?
Okay. So
or did you buy already toasted?
Well, mine said, I think hang on, I'm going to step out of the frame. What did they say on them? Let me see. Where did they go?
Roasted salted?
Well, mine are roasted. So I guess, do I need to toast? Is that what I need to do? Toast them?
No, not at all. If they're already roasted, they're perfect.
Oh, okay, perfect.
I only had raw, so I'm really quickly going to just salt and olive oil these and just pop them. My oven's already preheated to 425. Okay, so I'm gonna pop the pumpkin seeds in while I prep the squash.
Okay.
So I'm gonna swirl these little babies around. That okay, I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, well, this is ideal. My oven is not preheated, so that's okay. Like this is what happens when you're not in your own kitchen. I'm pretty sure it's on 425, but it's not hot. So whatever, here we are. Okay, so I'm going to cut this squash and hopefully not chop my fingers off. So there's nothing glamorous about cutting squash. It's so hard.
It is. It's very intimidating. And maybe that's why a lot of people don't cook with them. Now, from what I heard, somebody told me this, that if you go to the counter in the produce section. They will have it for you. Right at the grocery store.
The stuff that we don't know. Okay, hang on. This is going to be loud for a second. Because I always try to get like one. There we go. If I get like the one big, I do that with watermelon too, usually, if I can't get through it. You got to get that one big slam in. There we go. Get these little seeds out of here. If my mom were making this, she would absolutely be saving the seeds and making, roasting them, but she is next
and just
level.
eating them, just eat. I'm gonna pop mine in the oven because my slices are so thick.
Do it. Oh my gosh, okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna scrape these out, but holy smokes, this is a workout. Prepping squash is definitely a workout. Ah.
Yes.
Okay, hang on. Get this out. I love having a sink next to me because everything just goes into the sink.
Yes. That is nice. Ooh. So, question for you. So when I was picking up the herbs, I should know that there's just parsley and then there's Italian parsley.
Yes.
So they only had Italian parsley, and I have to tell you, it really smells good.
I mean, when you're cooking, either parsley works great. To me, they're the same. I prefer the flat leaf parsley, but I did an Instacart order and I got the curly parsley.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? We're just going to roll with it. We're chopping it up anyways.
Yeah, true.
And the flavor profile is the same. So, although if there were an Italian on our call, they might be telling, they might.
Yes, right.
How dare we say they're the same? I'm not that precious about this stuff, but. All right, so
do the boys like this dish?
The boys love this dish.
Yeah.
Love it. They don't love all dishes though. It's, what I've realized with our boys, I think it's probably same with all kids and probably a lot of adults, is that anything new that looks new immediately is, I don't like that.
Right.
Like first reaction, even the boys.
Yeah.
And we expose them to a lot of stuff. But the thing is that I'm like, okay, well, you don't have to eat it, but just try it. You might like it.
Yeah.
But with our boys, they love briny. They love anything briny. So like olives, anything pickled. So like olives, pickled, capers. And this is basically like capers with a bunch of fresh herbs, garlic and olive oil, and like lemon juice. So this is definitely right up their alley. But it was definitely the first time I made it was actually for Canadian Thanksgiving back in October with my sisters. And the boys were definitely like, Wolf is like, I put on his face. He's like, I'm not eating that. I was like, okay, buddy. But then I just don't say anything. And then usually he'll try it.
Oh, that's funny. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I'm all for just putting stuff on their plate and hoping that
and having them just try it. But yeah, I think you're right. That's like with anybody, anything that looks different or smells different, or, you're a little hesitant to try it. But I love squash. I eat a lot of, and zucchinis and stuff like that. All very good.
Totally. And I think nowadays, especially if you have a grocery store that has, pre-prepped produce. This is what I was talking about. I had to put a napkin down here to keep my cutting board from wobbling on me. Nowadays, like last week I was in Trader Joe's and they have delicata squash in a bag that already looks like this.
Really? Oh, wow. Okay.
And I think it's like, this was $1.99 and this was like $2.99. And I was like, when I'm in a pinch, like the bag is 100% the way to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Paying for prep, I'm okay with, because it takes time and, it's just easy to dump it, and.
Exactly. So I'm just dousing this in olive oil. I douse everything in olive oil. And I actually realized this morning that I don't have like a proper pepper grinder in this Airbnb. And so I'm using like a salt and pepper and herb mix.
Oh, okay.
Really easy breezy. And then this is what I do for ours. I loved watching you brush it though. That was like,
Oh yeah.
it was very pleasing to watch. I was like,
I'm just glad I found a brush here. There's actually a few. You never know what you're going to get in a rental. So, so I feel you when we come to the Keys every year for 2 weeks, always the week before Thanksgiving and the week of Thanksgiving. We always spend in the Keys, and this is a new house for us.
I was just going to say, do you ever go back to the same one?
We did for 4 years. We went back to the same one, and then we switched. Last year was a different house.
Okay.
It's hard to find one the week of Thanksgiving, but we have a couple boxes that we must check. So they have to be dog friendly.
Yes, of course.
My in-laws have a golden doodle.
Okay.
It has to have a pool. Yes.
Yes.
He's laying in front of the island, fast asleep.
And you need a pool for you guys and also for your daughter.
Yes, absolutely. And we need a dock because we have a boat. So we need to be able to dock the boat.
Yeah.
So yeah. So, and then of course we preferably need 3 bedrooms. Last year was 2 bedrooms. So.
Oh my gosh. You just made it work.
We bunked up with our daughter for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, we can't complain.
No, exactly. I was gonna say, like, you make it work.
Yeah. And she, she's a great sleeper. And after the days that we have, she's exhausted from being out swimming and on the boat and
so good.
To the beach and all of that. So
nice.
That was good.
All right. Okay, let me wipe my greasy fingers off here. Yeah, I feel like when we were traveling in Italy, we tried to always get a place that had like 1 bedroom, and we would put the boys in the bedroom so Andrew and I could be in the living space before we go to bed. But I mean, we were so tired by the time we go to bed. Sometimes they'd end up and then we would transfer them to the pull-out couch. But there was one place that we stayed in Florence where it was an amazing hotel, had a beautiful rooftop with a pool on it. So the amenities were really great and the location was super central, but we were all in one tiny room. And the boys had like 2 cots that were feet to feet. And then our bed, like you could just walk between where our bed was. It was close quarters. We made it work, but it was definitely close quarters. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go pop these in.
Okay.
Crank those up. I just cranked it up to 450. So here are my pumpkin seeds.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Looking all yummy. Let me set them aside. And then I'm just going to start prepping the herbs right now.
Okay, yes, let's do that.
So first things first, let's check did I even put an order of what we're doing? Let's see here. Well, the star of the show in this is really the capers. So here's a little jar of capers. Back to my roots of not really measuring anything.
Okay.
I think I said like, what did I say? Half a cup of pumpkin seeds. Capers, I said a 1/4 cup.
Yeah.
This is definitely more than a 1/4 cup, but I'm going to use the whole jar.
Okay.
So I'm just going to drain it. I think maybe I'll see. Maybe I should measure it. This is how I do things. It's always kind of always a bit of a surprise.
And you're just, are we chopping? Are we finally chopping them, or are we just?
Actually, you know what? Let's do the herbs first because they're less messy and less liquidy. So we'll start with cilantro. I'm going to start with cilantro. By the way, you can't really mess this up if you don't have one of the herbs.
Yes,
if you have
I keep the cilantro, but I have the parsley and the dill.
Yes. Perfect. I think when I originally did this, we didn't have cilantro, but then my sisters and I made it, and we had cilantro in the fridge. So one of the times we made it, we put it, and I loved it. So really, anything goes. If you only have parsley, it would be great with parsley as well.
And do you cut the whole thing, even the stem, or do you just take the leaves off? How do you do your herbs?
I cut the whole thing, but I don't, when I get to just the stem, well, this is for cilantro specifically. When I get to just the stems, I usually just save those aside, and sometimes I'll use them if I'm making a stock. Most of the time I just compost them.
Gotcha.
Yeah. When I'm like really in cooking mode, I'll put them, if I know I'm going to be making a stock, like after Thanksgiving, if I make a turkey bone broth, I'll save all my stems during Thanksgiving from like the parsley and thyme or whatever I'm using to cook the turkey. Or if I'm making like a roasted chicken, and then I'll save all the stems in the fridge, and then I put them all in the boiling water.
You're so resourceful. That's being resourceful.
You know,
I would
it's
never
like,
to do that.
oh, now my oven's prepped. There we go.
I just have to do. So when I'm cutting up, and I forgot, I have like special scissors that
Yes.
cut. Yeah, I'm just using regular kitchen scissors today, but I have those cutters and I really like them.
I've never used them. Now you're inspiring me to get them.
Yeah, I really like them. I don't know, it's faster, and I feel like it cuts everything pretty evenly.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like to use a knife. I feel like I use a knife for pretty much everything. These are not my knives.
Right.
So I'm trying to keep them sharp, but it's not the easiest thing. But my mom actually cuts her herbs. She puts them in a bowl and uses her kitchen scissors, not the herb cutting ones, just normal kitchen scissors, and kind of like in the bowl. So
yeah, that would probably work to put them in a bowl.
Whatever works.
That smells so good.
I mean, the smell of fresh herbs.
Fresh herbs really do make a difference. Yeah, shout out to your mom. The bowl thing actually really well. The herbs smell really good, and I think that's where when we go to a restaurant or go out to eat, and things just taste better. Mainly too because you're not the one cooking it; you're being served. But because
I agree more.
Right. Everything tastes better when you don't cook it and someone brings it to you.
Absolutely.
But the herbs and all of that's, and even like with presentation, and they're not expensive. I mean,
at all.
They're very inexpensive.
And I have to say, I always prioritize buying the bunches of herbs versus the little plastic packs, because you just get so much more. It's like almost the exact same price.
You're gonna totally kill me, but look what I the little black. But guess what? They were 2 for $4. So they were $2. And you know what? I'm probably going to save it and make something else with them. But exactly. I mean, for sure. But yeah, and it's so nice too, because in the produce section, because before they didn't have this, but they have all the herbs out, and they have the little sprinklers that come down and mist everything, so everything stays really fresh.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we usually go for. But also, I mean, when we were in Montreal this past Thanksgiving, we were there early October. I had to buy. Andrew makes the stuffing, and he uses a lot of fresh sage, and I had to buy 4 or 5 mini packs of fresh sage. I was like,
a lot of sage.
They just didn't have a bundle available, and I was like, well, we're just gonna make it work. So yeah, no, he uses so much fresh sage. I actually think he might be sharing a video on Instagram soon of his stuffing. Not that he really follows the recipe, but he definitely like loosely has a recipe that he's been making for years.
So what will you guys do for the holidays? Because you've been traveling around so much and seeing family and friends. So what's the plan for Thanksgiving?
We are, for the whole holiday, we're staying here.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're staying here. We are, we're spending, as mentioned, we're in this Airbnb. And so we're spending Thanksgiving Day at our friend's house, a lovely family that we're so fortunate. Our 2 boys are the same age gap and in each other's classes and best friends.
Oh, wow.
And so it's like a dream situation. So we're spending Thanksgiving with them. And then we have our niece coming into town. Our niece Clover's coming into town. So we're just going to make the whole time that she's here really festive. And then we usually spend Thanksgiving every year with our Canadian friends in Redondo Beach, which is hilarious that we spend American Thanksgiving together.
Right.
So we'll do a day with them, a day and an overnight with them. And that's it. And then then Andrew's gone for Christmas con
Oh, that's right.
for a chunk. And then when he gets back, we're actually going to the Newport Beach. I'm totally going to botch this. It is the boat Christmas parade, or there's like a yacht parade or something, whatever it is. It's launching the Christmas festivities in Newport Beach. And I wish I knew the name of what it was called. I'd have to look it up on my emails. But basically, he and Nikki Deloach are the Grand Marshals. And so we get to go and do that. And then after that, we are home and we are not going anywhere.
Nice.
But we're always going somewhere.
Yeah, I know. I feel it was fun though, following you guys over the summer, all your special adventures.
It was
really cool.
It was honestly, you know, Andrew or I have ever done anything like that. We've never been gone for that long. And I mean, especially not with our kids. And so it was such a special time to be there. And we figured we were going there for a wedding and for a birthday. And so once we realized that we were already going to be flying there and we were going to bring the kids with us, we're like, we'd be crazy to spend that money on the flights and jump in and jump out. Yeah. And so that's when we decided to just commit to spending the month there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which was a dream. I mean, it was definitely hard. It's hard traveling with kids, especially a 3-year-old, but you know, you figure it out. And there's the good definitely outweighs the challenging.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing like a rough chop on my capers.
Okay, yes, I gotta do that next.
And I feel like my recipe here, I probably did more like a 1/3 cup of everything versus a 1/4 cup of everything. But I also have a lot of squash on the go and I don't mind having extra. So, you know, I'm not mad at it. And nothing will go to waste. That's a big philosophy of ours in the kitchen. You know, as we were saying about the stems before, I feel like as much as possible, just using every single bit of food that you can. My mom used to say about everything when we were cooking that food is worth its weight in gold. And so I remember, you know, she would use every bit of the stem of something, and the green onion, the whole thing of the green onion, and every bit of garlic, she'd scrape it off of the cutting board. Like she just never wasted anything. And so that's really, really been instilled for us, for my sisters and I. Okay, let me grab garlic and lemon. Ooh, I'm starting to smell the squash. Did I mention this before? In case I didn't, for anyone who's watching this and following us along, make sure that if you're using a squash that you eat the peel, make sure to wash it first, because the skin of it will get really tender and you eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
And after it's been sitting in the grocery store for months, nobody wants to.
Oh, yeah.
Although I guess you bake it for long enough that it would probably get anything off of there, but
yeah.
All right, I'm going to try zesting my lemon. I think I might actually use the fine side of the grater.
Okay.
I feel like these zesters never really work that well, so I'm going to try and use this right here.
Yeah, this is a zester, and I'm going to give it a whirlsy here. All the herbs and stuff in one bowl, right? So everything, the lemon,
everything in one bowl.
In one bowl. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me find.
So I take that back. I feel like that's what I'm doing. I'm going to use the big side, the actual big side of the cheese grater.
Okay.
Whoa. Because I wasn't getting anywhere using the other side.
I think I need more herb in here. That's okay.
Reminder to zest before juicing. I've made the mistake many a time where I already cut my lemon and squeeze it, and then I'm like, shoot.
Oh, yeah. Always want to zest first.
Always zest first.
Are we zesting the whole? How much are we zesting here?
Zesting the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
I love lemon zest. I actually use lemon zest a lot, but what I do with it oftentimes, if I'm making like a dressing or something, I make most things in my Vitamix blender, and I'll just take a knife and scrape off a big chunk and I throw it in the blender so I don't have to work.
Yeah. Oh, good. So you guys had a really fun your last weekend, this past weekend.
Oh my God.
You had a lot going on. You had a dance party, you had the countdown to Christmas event.
It's been a lot. I didn't actually go to the countdown to Christmas. Andrew went to that one solo. I was so grateful to have a night at home. I did a face mask. I made tea. I like watched TV and folded laundry, and I was like,
you're like, I love this. That's great.
I sit down and watch TV so seldom that I was like, I always sit in front of the TV. I'm like, what do I even watch? I ended up watching an episode and a half of The Golden Bachelor.
Oh, how's that? I haven't watched it. I've seen all the ads for it.
You know, it's really cute. I used to love watching The Bachelor years ago, and I kind of fell off over the years. But this one is so sweet. It's such a great season, so I highly recommend it. Although now that I'm saying this out loud, I'm thinking, why didn't I just put a Hallmark movie on?
Right.
You know what? I probably didn't know how to find the channel. Like, I'm so terrible with TVs and remotes and all the things. All right, so this is what my bowl looks like right now.
You got a lot of stuff in there. I'm actually going to just run. You put your capers in there too? Everything. Capers are in. Okay, I'm going to rinse these herbs and cut up some more. So I feel like
okay. So now I'm going to juice my lemon in. I'm doing a whole lemon. And actually, before I do the lemon, I will chop my garlic clove. I saw on Instagram, actually, now I'm so curious. Maybe we should try it. Apparently, there's a trick. Let me get a butter knife.
The trick for what? Ooh, I like
apparently there's a trick to get a clove out of the garlic bulb. Yes. Like bulb out of the clove out of the bulb, where you take a butter knife and you stick it into the clove and you just wiggle it and it pops right out.
Well, you can try it. You're gonna yell at me because mine are minced in a jar, but that's
fine. It's fine. There's no look. We work with what we have. There's nothing precious about the way that I do anything. Okay. Okay.
Oh, look at that. It worked.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'm like smashing it and trying to get the peel, picking it off with my fingers. Okay, well.
I love that.
Thanks, Instagram.
Oh, what would we do without Instagram?
I know. It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I love it. I love it for inspiration. There's so many times I go on there, I pop on and I'm like, oh, last night I was making Brussels sprouts. And I was like, I was grating Parmesan for my risotto. And I was like, I always make Brussels sprouts just roasted in the oven. And then I just like looked up Brussels sprouts Parmesan. Yeah. And it was like, bake them first and then top them with Parmesan and pop them back in the oven. I was like, okay, perfect. And I did it.
Nice.
They were delish. That was something that West saw them. And he was like, oh no, mommy. No, I'm not eating that. I was like, okay, no problem. I just put them on his plate. And he ended up having 2 helpings. Yeah. I was like, okay, buddy. Sure.
That's so cute.
Anything new?
All right. Oh, the squash is smelling good and looking good.
Is your Christmas tree up at home yet?
We actually, I wanted I add a tree every year to our house.
Like, wait, so you have extra
tree, like another tree. So we have 3 trees. I want 5. We have 3 right now. I always wait until like at the very beginning. So at Michael's, give a shout out to Michael's craft store. Shout out to Michael's. They were like 50% off. And I won because our front door, we have one of those side panels, like windows. Yeah. And we don't have, the only window we have in the front of the house is Allie's bedroom. Okay. So, and I've always, you like to see the tree.
And of course, when you pull up to your house.
Yeah. So I got a little tiny, not tiny, I mean, it's a 6-foot pencil tree, but it fits right there. I don't even have to put ornaments on it. I just leave it on. It's like a night light. It just
And
stays
it has the lights.
and when we're pulling down the street, you can see the lights in the window. So then I put one in the kitchen. And then I put one in our living room. We put it up. That's the first thing we do when we get home from vacation. Otherwise, our 2 cats will have a heyday with that while we're away.
Oh my gosh, that makes absolute sense.
But we made the mistake of putting it up 1 year before we left. And yeah, I mean, we have somebody come and watch the cats. So
yeah,
they were
still. Yeah. So when the cats get the zoomies and they want to read something,
it's not good.
There was a year when we had Andrew and I had a husky for 16 years, and 1 year, an old tradition when we were younger used to be to go to my parents' best friend's house for Christmas Eve, and we went there, and our dog was home with my parents' cat, and Andrew went home. I think we forgot something, and it wasn't far. It was like a 5-minute walk. And so Andrew went back to the house to pick something up, and he calls me from my parents' house, and he's like, Cass, the Christmas tree is down. And I was like, what do you mean the Christmas tree is down? And he's like, the Christmas tree, I think Took and Tango, our dog's name was Took, my parents' cat's name was Tango. I think Took and Tango, and mostly Took, because let's be honest, she was a 75-pound husky. Right. I think they like somehow got the trees down. Anyways, so I immediately went over, we got the tree back up, and like didn't tell anybody, but then of course we couldn't keep the secret. We ended up telling my parents, and now it's just been remember that year that Took and chased the cat and the tree fell down?
Yeah, there's so many video, like now, especially when my husband's been sending me like videos of cats, like, and Christmas trees. And there's this really cool video of it's a Christmas present in front of the tree, but there's a hole cut out so that the cat can walk through what looks like a present to get to the center of the tree, because that's what happens when you get all the gifts around the tree.
Right.
You got the cat climbing over the gift to the center of the tree. So it looks like a gift, but it's really like a little tunnel for the cat to get to the center of the tree.
That's adorable. I love that.
Probably still jump over the gifts and
I feel like that's part of the fun.
Yeah. All right, so this lemon, am I juicing the whole lemon into this little mixture?
I juiced the whole thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. And then I put, what did I put for a 1/3 cup extra virgin olive oil? I'm just gonna hold it. I usually count olive oil by glugs.
By what?
Glugs, like glug.
Okay, gotcha.
Which is hilarious, because this is just goes to show you how I'm like, like 3 or 4 glugs. But I have this little spout on my olive oil, so I'm just going to like pour it in here for the next 2 minutes straight, because that's how I do things. I feel like this is going to need more. I mean, I think I might have doubled the recipe, so I think I'm going to need quite a bit more olive oil.
What does it typically call for?
It typically calls for a 1/3 cup, but I would go for more. Let me get a spoon to stir it around. All right. Oh my gosh, this is so yummy looking.
Yeah, this is yummy looking.
And smelling. I wish everyone could smell this.
I know, it does smell really good. I encourage everybody to make it. Seriously.
It's nice. I feel like, especially Thanksgiving and Christmas, just this holiday time of year, you want traditional dishes to a certain extent, but I like to use the traditional ingredients and try to put like a fresh spin on them, because everything is so rich over the holidays.
Yes, it is. It really is.
So I love a sweet potato casserole, but having this instead is so nice.
All right, let me see what's going on my squash here.
This is what we've got going on here.
Gosh,
So it's saucy. Mine's pretty saucy now. All right, I'm going to add my salt and seasoning blend to it.
I need to add my salt too.
I just checked on my squash and they're sizzling, but they're definitely not browned. So I'm happy that I have my, I put some in the air fryer earlier.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pop mine a little bit.
How are yours looking?
Good. They're definitely cooked. They're not brown on the top, but they're definitely soft. So they're
Awesome. And every oven is so different. I used to ask my mom when she was baking, and it's so funny because this actually came from my grandmother, from my dad's mom. I used to be like, Mom, how do you know when something's ready? My mom's mom didn't cook. And so my mom, as a young adult, had to learn to start cooking. And my dad's mom taught her how to make bread. And she makes it once a year if we're lucky. And it's the best thing ever.
good. Yeah.
But so my nanny would tell, my mom was like, oh, Barb, can I get your recipe? And so my nanny gave my mom the recipe, and when she, her and my dad had just started dating, and my mom was like, okay, perfect. My mom is a recipe follower. And so she's following the recipe, and then she gets them in the oven and she calls her mother-in-law and she's like, Barb, how long do I bake this for? And she goes, well, when it smells ready, it's ready. And my mom was like, what do you mean when it smells ready, it's ready? And I love that because my mom now will be, doing something in the house and she'll be prepping dinner and, we're off doing something and she'll walk in from the front yard and she's like, oh, such and such smells ready.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I love that. Now, does she bake?
She does bake. She does bake, but she follows recipes. She's more of a savory person though.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
She cooks a lot. So she'll, have like a ratatouille in the oven, or, baked beans, or her spaghetti sauce. That's like her famous spaghetti sauce that we love. So when she's making those things, usually she'll be like, oh, it smells ready. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one thing I found with cooking so different than baking, because baking is so much, chemistry, right? It has to be, you have to use the right parts, otherwise it doesn't turn out, and you need all the ingredients or it doesn't turn out right.
Exactly.
But yeah,
definitely a science experiment.
Oh, let me see.
Okay.
What does your sauce look like? Show me.
Okay, great. I haven't stirred the salt in yet, but here.
Okay. Oh yeah, you got a lot of sauce.
Yeah. I mean, like I was saying, I really am terrible about measuring. So I usually end up, but like, this is also how I do things. If I'm making a batch of salad dressing, I'll do a whole blender's worth, and then I put it in bottles. So I tend to take the ingredients of a recipe and then make my own version.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to pull out, let me tidy the space up a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Stuff everywhere.
I have this really yummy candle burning over here.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Mountain Air, and it's like it's the holidays without being to the holidays.
Gotcha.
It's really nice.
Harvest.
So good.
I like that one. It's nice. All right.
We're good on this. Ooh. I had all these cute little ramekins out to put my spices in, and I never used them. Womp womp. All right. I actually have enough herbs. So what are you doing for Thanksgiving this year?
We'll be here. So we always just cook in the house that we rent, and it's just the five of us. Yeah, I make my grandmother's filling, stuffing. I'm originally from Pennsylvania, so everything is very much Pennsylvania Dutch recipes. So a lot of butter and celery and onions, and you mix it with your hands, and it's just like this and you know, the whitest bread you can find.
Totally, totally.
You know, and it just, I love it because it smells like my grandma. Like when I make it, like I'm right back in like her kitchen when I was a kid.
I love that.
So I make that every year. And then, you know, everything else is pretty simple because, you know, Thanksgiving's on a Thursday and then we come home that Saturday. So we don't
want to have too many leftovers.
And yeah, so we don't cook a ton of food. But I'll prep my filling and everything, watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I watch it every year. I think I'm like the only one. And then the dog show is usually the Westminster Dog Show is on. So
we always have that one in the background too.
Yeah. So, you know, that's pretty much the theme every year. So
I love it. The run of show.
Yes.
You know, it's like one of those things where I feel like this time of year, it's so one of the things that makes it so special is the traditions. Yeah. And so no matter how much butter or white bread or cream or whatever's in a recipe, like for us on Christmas morning, my mom makes eggnog. Yeah. And it's like traditional eggnog and it has the foam on top and it's heavy whipping cream. And normally I'm not like having gulps of whipping cream and, you know, whatever else she puts in there. Right. But it's like, it doesn't count on Christmas.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, especially for people that don't indulge in it all the time. I mean, you know, I'm not eating a ton of sugar and stuff every day, but you know, I bake cookies every year and ship them to my family. You know,
what's your signature cookie? What's like the cookie they all look forward to?
Oh, I wish I don't have any cookies. Oh, here. So
because now you know, maybe we should do this again with your recipe.
I make a cutout sugar cookie that I love. And you know, I make spritz cookies, which are like little Christmas trees with the icing is just confectioner's sugar and milk, a little bit of milk, and you whip it, and that's it. And then this you can't even tell what it is. It's half of a flamingo.
No, stop it. How Floridian of you.
And then I make little stars. And then this year I made, these aren't the pretty ones. Let me show you the pretty ones.
Oh my God. I mean, see, this is stuff that I never do. I just don't take the time to do stuff like this. I love that you do this.
Yes, this is like just so much sugar. But these are basically oh my gosh, and these smell like, if you like peppermint, like that's all that is. So basically I saw this recipe online because I needed to fill the tins. Like I buy these tins and, you know, sometimes like I don't make enough cookies, so I need like filler stuff. It's literally a pretzel snap. Like you lay them out on a cookie sheet and you put a Hershey Kiss on each one. And then the oven you set to 200, and why are there?
I don't know, but whatever that was, it's celebrating how amazing.
I have no idea what that was. That was insane. But anyway, you put it at 200 in the oven, and it doesn't melt the Hershey Kiss. It just softens it, and then you take an M&M and push it down, and it just makes
oh my gosh,
whole, like, so I made plain
adorable
with just chocolate and an M&M. Right. I'm not a huge peppermint person, but I'm putting these in cookie tins for my friends. First I did family, and now I have 4 more tins of
oh my god.
Oh, including Riley. I'm sending Riley cookies this year.
Amazing. Oh my gosh, we had so much fun this past weekend.
Yeah. So
I love that you do that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun for me. I mean, I enjoy doing it and putting ribbons on the tins, and
oh my gosh, it's totally therapeutic too. It's like just the simplicity of just
and crafting and then shipping it, and then I usually get a picture when they arrive to whoever I sent them to, like, hey, we got your cookies, you know. So
oh my God. I love that. That is so sweet.
Yes, that is the one thing I like to do.
Let me go ahead and get a little plate here.
Mine are getting a little brown, but I definitely.
Oh yeah, mine are getting brown now. Hang on, let me rotate them. This oven is not the most even.
Oh yeah, they're definitely.
So here are my little guys that I did in the air fryer earlier.
Good.
These guys look great.
That's what I'm flipping mine over. That's what mine are.
Good idea.
They're like caramelized.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh,
so good.
that side is beautiful. Look how brown that is. Yeah.
And then how do you serve these? Do you just put the sauce over top, or?
I do. I just like kind of drizzle it with a spoon, like kind of slop it on top. I basically just put these down on a tray, and then I just pour the pumpkin seeds in the sauce. Actually, let me add my pumpkin seeds to my sauce right now. But yeah, I really just add it all together.
Oh my God, this looks so good. I'm so excited to eat it.
Oh, me too. I know, and Andrew's not home, which means I get it all to myself for now. I know what I'm having for lunch and dinner.
Oh, yummy, yummy. Yeah, it's super soft. The skin is very tender.
It's really tender, yeah. Oh my gosh.
I think I've ever had this kind of squash before.
It's so good. We buy it from the farmer's market actually up here this time of year. It's definitely a nice squash, but it's a really intimidating one to look at, to your note before.
That's good.
Ew. Oh, so good.
Wow. All right, well, I'm gonna put the, you know what, I'm just gonna stick them on just stick them on a plate.
I feel like I need my other batch. I just did this little air fryer batch. I need my other batch to top it up. And for Christmas, are you guys home?
We are home for Christmas. Yes.
Great.
Always home for Christmas. I really want to go away for Christmas next year. Now, next year it's going to be a little crazy because I am going on the Hallmark cruise.
You are.
I am. And it's so crazy because the Hallmark cruise departs on election night. It's the first Tuesday in November. I think it's November 7th.
Oh, I had no idea. I for some reason thought it would be in the new year, but that makes sense. It's early in the year.
It's November 5th.
Oh wow. Okay.
November, I believe it's November 5th. Yeah. But that's election night. Like the presidential election.
Oh, it sure is 2024.
Yeah. So and then we leave for the Keys that Saturday. I think the cruise is Tuesday to Friday.
Oh my gosh.
It is Saturday, and then so I don't know. Might have to just leave a little bit later next year, but yeah. So that's next year, and then now that the strike is over, hopefully,
hallelujah.
I know. Hopefully, I'll start filming in February.
Amazing.
Season 3. So yeah, I think I'm gonna come back.
Yay!
I didn't want to go to Canada in February.
Don't do it.
I'll just go to LA because there's enough people there, or I could go to Nashville too. So we'll see. I don't know where the show's going to take us this year, but I'm just happy that everyone
you can film it.
Can film it, and you know that the actors are striking. It looks like a pretty good deal. So
it has been. It's so funny. The strike ended, and it was just like Andrew was like, email Christmas this, Christmas that, you know, all the promo stuff just being crammed in right now because of the holidays.
Yeah.
And all the events were, a lot of the events were already planned, but without talent involved. So now they've added like the countdown to Christmas 2 nights ago. You know, the talent weren't planning to go to that. The whole event was planned without talent initially. And so then the talent got to go. And I mean, it's just so, you know, it's so celebratory right now because everyone's so happy to be able to talk about their projects again.
Right.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way because I have my little tray now. All right. So
I love how brown these got. Like, I didn't think they would get this caramel on top. I mean, they're like very cool.
And that's like, and you know, it's really interesting when you cook squash, depending on the type of squash, they get this nutty kind of like really rich caramelized flavor that is just heavenly. So my little guys, these are my little guys right here.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
They're pretty. It almost looks like pineapple from here.
I know. So I'm just going to basically take this and do like scoops of it down the middle is how I would kind of do it. But really it's however you fancy.
Gosh, that is so good. I feel like mine probably could have been chopped up more, but this is really pretty. And I feel like
it's not fussy. I think it's probably like, it's just, I'm actually going to use my iPad here and do a little video because this looks so good. How do I use this? This is Wes. Wes uses this one. Oh Lord. Okay, I can do this. Technology is always
it is very good.
Oh, good. I'm happy. Good. There's the camera. Okay, let's try this. And prop it up here and do a little video. No, that's not gonna work. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm about to have something really. Okay, let's see if I can do that. Yes. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
So in my world, more is more.
Wow.
Okay.
That is really, really good.
I knew that was gonna go crazy.
It tastes I'm telling you, those herbs really do make all the difference.
They do fresh herbs.
Complementary flavor. Yeah, it's much prettier than mine, but yes, it's kind of like
yours looks beautiful.
Kind of looks like a wreath.
Right, like the warm squash with the
herb and the lemon, the citrus kind of. I mean, it's just like a complementary of flavors, right?
And the lemon juice is yeah, like this bite right here is like the perfect bite. So
the whole thing.
I know, pretty delicious.
So good.
Yay, we did it. How long did this take us?
I don't know. What time was it? People watch the thing. Well, it's almost 3 o'clock. My time.
So an hour.
Delicious.
An hour because the squash takes so long to bake though.
Yeah.
But I did my little batch of squash in the air fryer at 425 and it was ready in 18 minutes. So for what it's worth, if you want to do a small batch of it, you can totally do that as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. It's so pretty.
I'm so happy.
It is pretty. So it looked very pretty in a dish.
It is. We're going to Thanksgiving on Thursday and I offered to do this and then Andrew will do his stuffing.
Oh, nice. Well, tell him to put that on Instagram.
I will. I actually think he's planning to. So I just have to make sure it actually happens.
Yeah. Awesome. Oh, before you go.
Yes.
Hang on a second. Hang on. Before you go, hang on. Let me see.
Oh my gosh. What is with this mischievous giggle?
No. But this happened last year too, right? With your man, like in the center.
I need to get this issue.
He's in the sexiest man alive. Look, but it says sweetest men alive.
Oh,
that's so nice with his little jacket on.
It's also especially cool that I get to have my husband and my cousin on there. Like,
oh my gosh, why didn't I see? And I totally forgot to mention Tyler. He's going to be very upset with me. Yeah, and they're right beside each other too. Like, how fun!
I love it.
That's so fun.
Do you know? I love that they did this. I feel like
I think they did it last year. I think they did it last year as well. I remember seeing it when I was down here, and I remember buying the copy of it. But yeah,
I need to get that issue. Hopefully, it's still available.
Oh, I think they make extras of the sexiest man alive. People
they keep it on the shelf extra long, knowing that more women will buy it.
Yes, for sure. But yeah, it's been all over the Hallmark Facebook groups, people taking pictures of it, and
oh, it's the best.
And then wondering where like others are. Like, we don't see so and so, and where's so and so? We like, I don't know how they pick.
I don't know how they pick either. And it's funny because, Hallmark will do a post on Instagram about something, and, like, I think they just try to share the love.
Yeah.
They make sure that some of the favorites are on there, and then they try to share the love with whoever else.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you for joining me today and taking some time out of your busy life.
My pleasure. Any excuse to cook.
A little bit, right? And
it really has. It really has.
I'm going to post the recipe along with our little chat and video so everyone can make it. Hopefully, this year for the holidays. It's delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Amazing. And whenever you do post it, make sure to mention measuring is not required.
Right, measuring is not required. Got it. I will. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving.
You too, girl.
We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Awesome.
Hey. Da, 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 da. Oh, okay, but seriously though?
That is so good.
So good.
I mean, this is like fancy restaurant. Like, this is what you would get in like a fancy,
But like, when you think about it, all we cooked was the squash.
Yeah, it's fine. I told them they could come up. That's all we cooked, and everything else was just chopped. And quite frankly, you could have bought that all chopped up, probably.
Could have bought it all chopped. Also, there's a world where you could put it in a food processor and make like a dressing with it, or in a blender as well. We could actually have taken all of it and put it in my Vitamix and just made an actual like liquid out of it.
Right.
So.
And I feel like you could put this sauce on like anything. Potatoes, steak, like meats. I mean.
Oh my God, like a chimichurri.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree. Well, I'm so happy we did this. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time to do it. We're trying to gather up as much content as we can. And let me know, I know you guys have extremely busy lives, but we're doing these virtual fan events. If you and Angie want to do one, we did one with Ryan, and we did one with Ashley Williams, and we're doing a crafting one with Cindy Busby on December. We're Christmas crafting with Cindy. So
when is that one for Cindy?
That one's December, the first Saturday in December. December 2nd.
December 2nd.
In the morning. We're making a fishbowl Santa. So yeah, so everyone will buy their crafting stuff and craft with us. So
fun.
Yeah. So
yeah, I feel like
it has like a theme. So
we probably could. It would probably be the real craziness right now is like moving into our house, hopefully. But the craziness is that Andrew's basically from the 5th to the 15th, he's not home. And like, of course, that's when, or he comes home, but then we go to Newport, like he lands and he goes straight to Newport, and then the boys and I go meet him for a couple days. So we're not together a lot. Like this time of year, because it was Christmas Con, but now they're bringing him out for a movie premiere, I think the night before. And then he flies straight from Christmas Con to Toronto to do an appearance for the Apple company that he works with. And then he comes back and then he's the Grand Marshal for Christmas. It's like this time of year for people who do Christmas movies is really, really, really intense. And meanwhile, I'm like, so I guess I'm moving this.
Like maybe like middle.
I think a New Year could be fun because we'll be in our house and maybe we do like a New Year, like, I don't know, maybe it's like a morning routine or like a, you know, or like a smoothie making, like starting the day with a smoothie or something like that, where it just feels like we're doing something that's positive and like good for the body for the new year.
Right. Yeah. And then what we do is we have people register for the Zoom and they just join in, and sometimes they'll put questions in the chat and, you know, but it's just for the people that are in our private Facebook group. That's how we've been building the fan base during the strike.
Great.
So any way we can to like just build it, because because I make $0 doing the show. Like they pay for me to do everything, but we don't, I don't get anything because Reveal is right. Well, Reveal is a free platform until the end of the year, and then there's a subscription. And I know, hallelujah, because then what they're going to do is they're doing like the kind of like the Planet Fitness rule, how it's like $10 a month. Okay, so this is going to be like $3.99 a month, like literally $3.99 a month. And every creator that brings a new subscriber gets $1. So if I have 50 people, or if I bring 200 people, I get $200 a month for as long as they're subscribed.
What?
So, and I never have to create anything else for them.
It's just passive income.
Yeah. So the strike kind of worked out for me because season 3, I'm like, I'm not putting season 3 out until February. Because I'm not going to push a bunch of people to the platform, because anyone that's already on, it's going to be grandfathered in.
Of course.
I brought a bunch of people because of the seasons we've already done. So
exactly.
So hopefully I'll like start making an income from it. And then so we're building the fan base to push all of those fans into the subscription once it's here. So
amazing. But you knew when you were starting this, I remember you saying like it's a long-term plan. I mean, I'm not like super long-term, it's like a 10-year, but it's something that you knew that if you created the content, like they were investing in you because they see something in you, knowing that you're going to bring the audience in and that ultimately you will be compensated.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not complaining, that's for sure. I get to do what I love and, you know, and make connections and friends, you know, with people that I've watched on TV, which is like so crazy, but
crazy.
So yeah, I mean, yes, but it's exciting. So hopefully there'll be some developments on that front. Hopefully.
Totally.
I don't know. So
it's all gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy to see you. Go enjoy your family.
Yes, will do. And I'm gonna enjoy this. Maybe you gotta try this, then you're gonna like it.
I'm heading out to I have to go choose toilets for our
fun. Have fun toilet shopping. That's fun.
I'm like, heated, non-heating bidet. No, I don't want a bidet. But now I'm like, do I want a bidet? I'm not going to use it, but do I want it just
the comfort height? The ones that are a little bit higher off the ground, comfort height.
Do you guys have one with like a tank in the back, or do you have just the seat? Because I feel like all the ones I'm looking at are just a self-contained seat.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, we built our house 12 years ago and they still had tanks then. Maybe that's a new thing. I don't know.
It looks weird to me, but I'm like, maybe I'll like it once it's in there. I don't know. These are the decisions I don't like having to make.
Like, where's the flusher? Like
on the back, but it basically is just like, I'll send you a link to one of them and you can see.
I have to look those
there
up.
are ones with like you put your foot. Yeah, you put your foot in front. It's like a motion detector, like the motion detector trash cans, where you put your foot in front of it and it opens for you.
Wow. That's fancy.
We're not going that fancy.
Okay, the boys would love that.
It would be broken in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Well, have fun shopping for all the details for your house. That's fun. And then hopefully when I'm in LA in February, maybe I'll swing by and see the house and it's,
Please.
you know, because I got to see the old version and I loved your house. So I'm excited to see what the new one will.
Amazing.
God will look like. I'm sure it'll be great. So
it will. Yes, we're excited.
Awesome.
But have a great weekend.
Yes.
Thank you again.
Tell Andrew I said hello.
I will.
Oh, and I'll text you. I have Starzy shirts for all of you. For the
oh my gosh.
For you and Andrew.
Yeah. Amazing.
But I'll text you next month because I didn't get the order yet. So you just have to let me know the safest place to ship them so that you get them because I know you're moving all around. So
yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.